Hey everyone, welcome to Midday Plays Live, your free sports betting picks, parlays, and props show. I'm your host, Mindy with Tiffany Mantz, and we're going to be covering some awesome picks for you today. But before we do, make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, click on the bell to get the latest notifications because you never want to miss out when we go live every day. Well, not every day, Monday through Friday.
Every weekday.
Eastern time, every weekday. So again, we're glad that you guys can join us. And so yesterday, I don't know. I think I was really excited that the Aces got their back-to-back championship, but I was not super excited with how many bricks were laid off the backboard. That's what I'll say.
Every time I see that, I think of you.
It's a very, very sloppy start to that game.
I would like to point out that I watched the game at a local establishment.
Oh, you're actually out there promoting Andy's place. Okay.
Yeah, so I'd like to really thank Tom, who owns and operates Andy's, which, makes sense. But he even turned the WNBA game on for me, and he didn't even roll his eyes. He was like, what? And I said, will you turn on the WNBA game? And he was like, okay.
That's my first time for that, right?
I thought I was going to have to, argue with him, to be like, come on, just turn it on. But so I was able to watch the baseball game and the basketball game.
And celebrate the birthday. Exactly.
Yes. So I enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
The game, and we saw it was the little comeback win.
Yeah. So, because of that, no one got close to their props, let's just say, besides Asia Wilson. She definitely did. But other than that, I would need a whole nother quarter before I get the rest, just because of the low scorer there for sure. But yeah, it was a pretty good day. I kind of went in order. I watched WNBA first, then I turned it over to some football, then I turned it over to some baseball, and then football again. That's kind of how my day went. I actually, instead of turning them all on, I just kind of had one on at a time. I thought I'd give all my full focus to, the WNBA. I am a fan, of course, so I definitely like to watch.
Yeah, I do too. That baseball game was actually pretty good. I saw that Altuve had a home run, and that was one of the big props on all of my betting sites was, they were boosting that if he get a home run.
Yeah.
Again, my props didn't quite hit. I had a couple in there, and the Astros did cover that spread, but other than that, it was kind of how we predicted, though. It was a pretty high-scoring game.
Yeah. So, other than we missed on Sam Houston State, other than that, over at Tony'sPicks.com, where we had our packages, both of us went 2-1 on the evening. And they had a chance. Sam Houston are now 0-7. Everyone's like, Mindy, Sam Houston is 0-7. How can they be favorites in this game? Well, they had the game plenty of times.
Yeah.
Like, they had the victory. And again, they let it slip through. And they had the victory by, the points there as well. So it's just kind of one of those deals that, sometimes the bounces don't go your way.
Yes.
But we always talk about whenever we can get a win, we will take that win. So I will be, 2-1 every single day of my whole life. Let's just say.
Yep, I'm happy with that.
Right, exactly. So we got some more action here today. Big slate in the NHL. I'm still, we're at about 3 games. I like to be at about, 5. So there we are. So I'm looking for Latifa. I know she has some hockey picks out there. TJ is here. I know TJ probably has some hockey picks for us. But again, we're not quite ready to go ahead and, give you our advice where you should invest your money yet if we don't have the data. I feel like otherwise, if you guys are local and you go ahead and know your team as well as you do, then I'd feel a little bit better about it. But with us being in the Midwest, and basically I kind of root for the Seattle Kraken. That's 4,000 miles away.
Yeah.
Our cousin's always been a Blues fan. Then we have other friends that are Vegas fans. So again, Ron, he likes Colorado Avalanche today -1.5. TJ, I think he's probably typing it in now what he likes. I know Latifa had a big old laundry list that she was giving me. So yeah, let us know what you guys have out there and come in and say hi to us as well. We'd like to see who's hanging out with us so we can chat. But yeah, big NHL card. Then of course we got 2 in Major League Baseball. We got 2 here in college football. And then we have one, of course, tonight. We got this Jacksonville Jaguars team that is coming off of their home visit there in London to now back into the United States. This is going to be their first real, I don't know if you call it like a road test. I mean, they've been on the road for weeks now, but this is like their first road trip on a short week versus the Saints.
Really jet lagged the other way.
Right. The jag legs. That's what I kind of think. But Mark is here today. Hey, Mark. I'm glad that you're here. So this is going to be an interesting one, right? It's going to be, I guess, Trevor Lawrence is going to be a game time decision. But again, a lot of times in our modeling, we can always feel like it doesn't matter who's out there playing, right? We know that they're all professionals. We've tracked data over the last 14 years, and there is no real scientific method as to if a starting quarterback is out, that has any change on whether or not you are going to go ahead and cover a spread. Yeah. And so that's why, a lot of people look at us being like, why do you not know every single player out there in the NBA or the NHL? But again, it's because we do data analytics. I mean, that's what we're here for. We've always tried to make it be a way that we didn't have to, right? And that our heart doesn't get into the game. Everything that we do is based off of our brains, and that's why we bet against our teams. We've been even accused of not being real fans because we bet against our own team. But what did we say about that?
I was debating that with my fantasy because for defense, I've got the Chargers and I've got the Dolphins. And I'm like, I think I might play the Chargers against the Chiefs. And I'm like, I hate doing it, but I'm like, hey, let's look at the stats here.
I always say we like money more than our team. Just going to say that right now. But TJ will put some plays up for. He has the Wild on the money line, the Predators on the money line, Panthers money line, and the Blackhawks plus 1.5. I think the Blackhawks are supposed to be a big bright spot here, right? I'm pretty sure. But yeah, he also said, "Hey, Tiffany, I love the Chargers defense with the Chiefs, right?"
Yep.
So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into this Monday, or it is Thursday. This Thursday night game. I don't want to put it all the way till Monday and miss our weekend.
So are you playing your Saints defense tonight?
Of course I am. I am playing the Saints defense tonight. It's not like they're not ranked very, high or anything. I mean, they really allow not much. Let's just say that.
Yeah, actually, they've only had one game where they allowed more than 20 points because I looked that up. So that's why I think, again, we'll see what happens here. But are you ready for my picks?
Yeah, I'm ready because I think that, like I said, the big up in the air is if Trevor Lawrence is going to play. And then, of course, he has some linemen that are a little iffy as well. But I always feel like everyone here are professionals. And again, we've shown over time that the data doesn't really say if we have injuries. I mean, look how many times Steph Curry's been out and the Warriors have still covered the spread, right? That's kind of how I've always played this. And again, we're going to look towards your expertise here on these player props here tonight.
It makes me want to pull out a dad joke because I was going to say, if they put in Bethard, they're probably going to get beat hard because I know.
That's only because he's an ex, Iowa folk. That
name just makes me laugh every time because I have a hard time saying it correctly. Anyway, with that, I'll be Stefania for a minute from Fantasy Football Now. Lawrence has got an injury to his left knee. I kind of looked it up. They're expecting him to play, but again, I think it could potentially hinder some of his passing. But again, we also know that they've got some great medical teams. They're probably going to numb that up. They're going to tape it up. It's a sprain. The plan is that it looks like he is going to play. With the injury, one of the things I'm looking at is ETN over 16.5 rushing attempts. I think, again, they're going to rely on the run game if Lawrence is hurt, which he is. 16.5, even with Lawrence healthy, he's only had one game all season with less than 16 rush attempts. That was 12. Otherwise, he's averaging really closer to 18 or 20 anyways. I think over 16.5 rush attempts is a good bet for tonight.
All right.
On the other side,
Hmm.
Jacksonville gives up the second most passing yards per game. And that includes, oh, Whitney. And that
All
includes,
that went off was the dryer. So it's like they hear those and they think it's the doorbell and someone's here, but okay.
But yeah, so Jacksonville gives up second most passing yards per game. And that includes they're giving up 40 yards to running backs as receivers. So I'm taking Kamara over 29 and a half receiving yards. I think Derek Carr, I'm looking at over 200 passing yards. He's averaging about 216 per game. And so again, with that Jackson, he's going to be throwing the ball a lot. And then I'm also going to lean on Olave a little bit. I'm looking at over 60 receiving yards and over 4 receptions. Olave's been a target of 53 of Carr's 200 passing attempts this season. And really, he's averaging about 69 yards per game. So I think that those are all pretty good bets. So that's what I'm looking at. So to recap, ETN over 16 and a half rush attempts. Carr over 200 yards passing. Kamara over 29 and a half receiving. And then Olave for over 60 receiving and over 4 receptions.
All right. So Carr over. I'm just going to put this in the chat so you guys can go ahead and see it. Because sometimes I feel like maybe we go a little bit, too fast. And then you had some Olave in there that was over 4.5 receptions.
Over 4 receptions, yes.
Over 4, okay.
And then 60 receiving yards.
Olave. 60 receiving yards. Okay. Yeah, and then Ron, he said he actually liked that in there for there we go. He said he even liked Kamara on the anytime touchdowner. How do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility. I think they're going to be busy. Lots of scoring on this one.
Busy.
Busy. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so I like it. And I like it also that I see at some of these books that we have these same game parlays. A lot of them, I get the no sweat bets. So I love to use it for that. And again, we've always wanted to try to be a little bit more on the conservative side for you because we don't want you to just throw your money away. I know it's nice to get these big wins, but sometimes just go ahead and, get a little bit of cash in there every day and increase that bankroll. That's enough for us.
Yeah, and I like to sometimes. I'll play a lot of these straight as well, and then I'll also do the parlay so that even if I don't hit all of them, I'm still kind of making some money on that. But I'm pretty confident in these. I'm more confident in these picks than I have in the last couple of days. So I'm happy about this.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. Yeah, because sometimes, it's hard and, you don't have the parity and you don't feel like the stats are just quite right. Sometimes you got to dig a little bit deeper. So I'm glad this one you feel pretty confident in. So we're just going to go ahead and transition that into mine. I'm just going to give you just a good old 3-teamer out there for you today. I might take a little bit of points here. I'm going to start off with the Jaguars since that's kind of been our transition, right? I know that there's maybe some issues, with Lawrence out there with his offensive line, but they do still have a lot of weapons. And I feel like this is a team here that can really grind it out. I mean, they had these games versus the Chiefs. They had some games versus the Bills. I mean, they were like low scorer games, right?
But
so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take these Jaguars here today to get the money. I like it that it's kind of flipped a little bit on me too. Like initially the Jaguars were the favorites. It flipped. Now they're sitting at +2 or 3. Modeling has the Jaguars just winning this one outright by 2. So I don't mind this. So I was a little bit more worried if they were the -1.5, right? But now they're getting the 2. The Saints, I think, have the better defense, but the Jags definitely, I think, have the better offense here in this matchup. So this is one that you may want to go ahead and just go ahead and maybe buy it up if you're putting it into a parlay, something like that, rather than taking it straight up if you're not comfortable with it. Perky, on the other hand, he said Jags money line is his max bet today. So if you feel comfortable with that, go ahead and take this one on the money line. But you can also go ahead and get this like at a touchdown or something, 7.5, something like that, just to make sure you have a little bit of leeway there. And that is only if you're going to go ahead and put this in a parlay. If you're playing these straight up, make sure you get closest to even money as you can. You want to not be out there paying a lot of juice. That's why we don't make a lot of money in Major League Baseball. It's why sometimes hockey's a little bit hard. But of course, with hockey, I think you win a little bit more than not. It's not quite as much of an upset game, right? And so, hey, look at Ferner. He said, hey, I'm on the Jags here as well. The Saints are in the red zone in almost every possession and can't come away with a score.
And that's what I was going to say about the Jags is they've been finding a way to get it done every week.
Exactly.
So again, they're kind of like a dark horse in this, but I really think that they get things done when they need to get things done.
Right. Then we're going to move over into some college football here today. We got Rice versus Tulsa. Tulsa, again, has the worst coaching staff in all of the NCAA college football based off of, CFB Matrix Analytics, a group that I follow. It's fun because we kind of take a look at college football based a lot off of talent and coaching, just because the parity is so different when we look at conference to conference, right? I mean, you can't really compare a Tulsa team, versus in Alabama, right? So how do you compare that talent? So that's why when we get into a little bit more of conference play, we feel a little bit more, I guess we feel a little bit better about it. But we're still looking at offensive and defensive efficiencies. We're also looking at pace of play in these games also. How many possessions they're going to get, how many times they get sacked, all that kind of good stuff here. But yeah, I mean, Ron says Rice wins. That's kind of how I feel. I think Rice wins this one outright. I have them winning by 1.96. They do have that experienced quarterback play. Tulsa has one of the worst secondaries in the nation. Again, Tulsa struggles to move the ball. I'm not sure why Tulsa is favorites by -3.5 in this one. I like it on the money line, but you know me, Mr. I'm a Mrs. Safety. I'm going to take this one here on the money, or not on the. I saw Ron put up Rice on the money line, but yes, I think Rice gets a money line. But you know me, I'm going to take the points.
Yeah,
I'm always going to take the points. There's never a sure bet in anything. Never a sure bet. You could say, "Oh, this is my lock of the year." Never a sure thing, right? And then next up, we're going to go ahead and take a look at James Madison versus Marshall. I'm going to go ahead and take James Madison here on the money line as well. So again, if I'm putting these in a parlay, I'm going to take it on the money line. Otherwise, with James Madison, it might be one of those that you just take the points if you're betting this one here straight up. I have James Madison winning by 6.97 points here in this one. Marshall is 174th ranked in points against. They get scored on an absolute ton. Plus, James Madison has this really awesome run game. And Marshall, their quarterback has thrown, let's say 5 interceptions thus far this season. So again, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a little bit of a runaway here with James Madison. I've watched them play. They're very good. They can really run the ball and get that one done. So that's kind of how I'm looking today. I'm looking at the Jaguars. You can take them at +2 if you like, or tease that up. I like Rice. Again, you could take them on the money line if you feel confident, or just go ahead and take the 3.5 points. And then, of course, I like James Madison. If you're going to go ahead and put that in a parlay, maybe just take him on the money line. Otherwise, I'm going to take him at -3.5. I have him winning by 6 there. As well. So that's kind of how I look at it. It's up to you guys how you want to go ahead and place this. If you like to play parlays, but that's just where we're kind of moving to on Tony's picks. We're evolving. We're being, the multi-capper site for the people. The people want the parlays. Vegas wants you to play the parlays as well.
Right. There's a reason for that.
So we do want to go ahead and make sure that we can give you some advice that can help you at least, move towards winning those parlays. Again, we're giving you info. We know that our chat group, the folks that watch us, are very sophisticated. So we know you guys know what to do, but we're just going to try to help along with those that maybe are struggling a little bit and look to us for advice, since again, this is my full-timer gig, sports handicapper. That's what I do every day. I just look at numbers. Tiffany unfortunately has to work a little full-time job She does most of all of the programming and the analytics for us. So we all do a little bit, different stuff here as our team of the Two Old Ladies That Bet network, even though we're
Yes,
oldish.
it is. It's evolving, and so it's more than two old ladies anymore. It's a team these days.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, Latifa, she's finally come in here with some of her NHL plays. So you can go ahead and write this down. We got the over in the Vegas Golden Knights and Winnipeg. Take Boston over the Sharks. And I'm leaning Philly with the +1.5 against the Edmonton Oilers. Of course, she's always taking Philly. But no, her team's the Devils. Whatever. I know it. She does like over in both of the MLB games here tonight. And then we got Ron Hahn. He said, hey, I like Rice on the money line. We talked about that. And he says, take the point, sprinkle on the money line. That's something that you can do as well if you are playing, units, something like that. Latifa says, hey, I like the over in the James Madison Marshall game. And Ron says, hey, James Madison by a touchdown even, right? Oh, and Ron says, oh, yeah, fan of Detroit. He said, hey, how about my Red Wings? I think they're doing okay. I don't know. But Ron says he does, Tiffany, like your same game parlay out there. And then here we have a special guest, Russ Mantz, who said, how about tonight we get the Buck Snort for football? And I think that's a very good idea. So the Buck Snort is like our local, I don't know, pub. Is that what you want to say?
Yeah.
But they have like the best burgers. So it's like a burger plus other things. So it's like a burger plus prime rib, a burger plus pulled pork, a burger plus a chicken patty, a burger with mozzarella sticks and fried jalapenos. I mean, it's just
like the meats in the Midwest.
We are a bunch of carnivores here in the Midwest. That's just kind of how it works. But yeah, TJ says, oh, wait, how about I take those Los Serpentines today, the bad boys of the Major League Baseball, those Arizona Diamondbacks. I think we mentioned it before. Tiffany lived in Arizona there for a while, went to University of Tucson, at Tucson there. And so, again, I'm still mad at you for having all that nice weather when I was sitting here working in the snow. Just saying.
Yes.
So TJ said, definitely backs the D-backs here tonight.
Yep.
And the Astros. Do you have any predictions on Major League Baseball, or do you want to keep them for yourself right now to see what we do at Tony's picks?
I was going to say, I think that you need to buy those.
Right. I mean, we can't give away all of our secrets, right? I mean, we are in the business here of making money, just like you guys. You guys all have your gigs on how you like to make money. Oh, Tiffany has in a power outage. Excellent.
Apparently, it's motion activated. I've been sitting still too long, and I can't.
It's like you've been moving around.
My shoulders are
That is true. That is true. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to be in on 4 plays here tonight for Major League Baseball. I got all the sides and the totals. So you can definitely go ahead and check those out. We'll be in on the NFL and college football. So definitely go ahead and get to Tony'sPicks.com. Again, like I said, me and Tiffany were both winners yesterday on the leaderboard, plus $88 if you were betting $100 per play on our 3-packs. And then, of course, you can use the promo code TonyT at checkout, which is an online exclusive promo code for only you guys that watch out there. So make sure you take advantage of that. So anything else good going on today?
No. Just looking forward to some football.
A little bit.
The weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
I look better in the dim light.
Yeah. So did Derek tell you that we got the Fanta mystery soda yesterday that was black? He had a black face because you told me to pick him up from school, and we went and had a big party at the store.
And I've got a bone to pick with that because Rika, Derek loves watermelon. Watermelon is great. I hate cutting up.
I feel like I'm losing Tiffany. Where did she go? Maybe the whole power went out.
No,
I'm
still there.
She's maybe recalculating for the story. Oh, there you are. I think you're back.
I said Tia Rika should buy pre-cut watermelon.
Oh, no, I lobbied for the pre-cut, and he said you definitely get more in a full watermelon, which I couldn't like necessarily disagree with that, right?
Well, it's true, but again, I hate trying to cut a giant watermelon. So you can do that.
All right, I'll cut a watermelon tonight. But yeah, Ron says he can't wait for the NBA to start this week. Again, we look to you to help us out for the first couple weeks, because again, we like to go ahead and see some road and home games before we go ahead and start getting into the mix. So you can help us out for the first couple weeks or so with your local teams. We know Ron, he's a big Bucks fan. So we can't wait for him to go ahead and give us all the same game parlays like he did last year. I mean, I think he was sneaking me money, it seemed like, almost every day. So I can't wait for that.
Yes, I'm excited to make some money betting NBA this year, because we always do well with that.
That's true. That is true.
Long season, lots of bets to make.
I know. We have so many. All right. You guys take care. We will see you tomorrow. I think Tiffany, she's back in it again. Oh, maybe not. There she is. I don't know. Something crazy is going on there. It must be getting close to Halloween or something. All right, you guys. Come back and see us tomorrow. We'll see you. Bye-bye.